Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another video on this channel. Today we'll be looking at the perfect study routine to get the new school year started. So either your school has already started or it will start in the next couple of days. But at the time of recording this, it's the 4th of September, so hopefully I'll be releasing this video today, and yeah, hopefully your school will start in the next couple of days as well. What better way to get started, to start the new school year, than to create a study routine? Now, this applies especially if you're going into an exam year. So what I mean by that is, let's say year 11 class, or if you're going into year 13, because the number one thing that students will fail to do at the start of the new year is make a proper study routine or timetable, let alone stick to it for the whole year. Now, as I said, this is especially for those exam groups, those people going into these exam years, but it is perfectly, I think it's a perfectly reasonable and good idea for people going into other years to do the same actually, and stick to this revision timetable or study timetable or study routine that I'm going to be explaining to you right now. So before we get into it, why do we need to create a study routine? Well, it keeps your work and your schedule organized, but also it will make it way easier once you come closer to your exams. However, there's actually another good reason and it's actually such an underrated reason for making a study routine. And it's actually overlooked by a lot of teachers, by a lot of individuals, and it's that consolidating your work is so important, and I cannot stress this enough, because it will help you so much in the long term with your attitudes to studying, but also the way you study, and also how you study in the future. So here's how you can get started and make a study routine that will actually work. I promise you that I'm different to all the other revision content creators, and by the end of the video you will have all the necessary skills and tips that you need to make your own personalized study routine. Alright, let's jump into it. So let me first describe my study routine and why I was so successful. So my GCSE success didn't come from a high IQ or anything extraordinary like that. I'll be completely honest, it came from my hard work. So what you'll see is that I put in a lot of hours, okay? During exam season, I was consistently doing about 8 to 10 hours per day of revision. Now, this is not fully necessary because I think it can be overkill, right? It's all about finding that sweet spot that works for you, because you want to make your exam timetable personally for you, okay? It should be personalized to yourself and not to any other student. So this leads nicely into our first step. And step one is all about following a sustainable program. Imagine you're at the start of a marathon, okay? If you sprint for the first mile, you're not going to finish as strongly, and you'll probably end up being too tired to even finish the race. The same thing applies for a study or a revision timetable. Right, step two. Every time you sit down to study or revise, do so in 1 to 2 hour blocks. Now, yes, this might seem a lot for you if you're not used to it already, but once you actually get into the habit and regularly follow the routine, you'll be perfectly fine. Now moving on to step 3. Find out what type of learner you are. Now, this one is important because I will guarantee you not all revision methods and techniques are suitable for everyone's style of learning. Can you sit down and devote hours a day to study outside of school? This includes holidays and weekends. If not, that's perfectly alright. If your revision methods are effective, then there's no need to do many more hours daily of study. I understand everyone has different commitments and different interests that they need to give attention to, and that's perfectly alright. You just need to be able to balance those, and that is literally the key to making a good study routine. Now by this stage, so we're in step 3, just a reminder, you should have organized all of your resources and you should have worked out how much time you can give, and so on. Just keep in mind that for whatever revision method you're doing, make sure you're actually doing active recall, okay? And this includes making flashcards and doing past paper questions, not just passive reading. So not just opening a textbook and flicking through it, looking at the pages. That's passive reading, or passive recall as we call it. Don't worry, we'll go over this in later videos, focusing specifically on revision techniques, and I'll be ranking them based on how I found them during exams. Step 4. Now comes the stage of actually making the study routine. What I've found from past experience is that in the evening after school days, you can't find a lot of time to study, as most of the time it's taken up by homework, and this is perfectly normal. It's what every student faces. Even sometimes my weekends are also taken up by homework and a lot of school-related work outside of homework. But the thing is to remember, this is ultimately part of your routine. So when you're making a study routine, you've got to add all of these things in, okay? So first of all, you've got to add in your school day and any other related activities like clubs or sports, okay? So let's say I have swimming in the morning before school, and after school I have a rugby fixture, for example, or gym, okay? I would add that in before school, my school day, after school, okay? And I was literally write 7 to 8 a.m., 8 to 9 a.m., etc. and make a whole timetable for all of the hours of the day, okay? Also, once you have a topic test, add a suitable revision slot for these. So in your revision timetable, so yes, you may have a standard, timetable for study routine for the normal school week, and you've added in the normal activities. You've got to add in, well, there may be fluctuations in these. So definitely add in a suitable revision slot for your end of topic tests or your smaller exams, okay? Then, once you've done that, fill in your weekends. So you finish all of your weekdays, all of that school-related stuff, extracurriculars, whatever. Maybe some of that actually spills into the weekend. So this stage of the process is completely up to you, because your routine, as I said, should fit you personally. Maybe you could add an hour or two on weekends for extra consolidation, work, or reading ahead for lessons. And I think this is especially important as you go up into the later years of secondary education, and then you reach your GCSEs, where this practice is sort of very important. You've got to have more independence on your own, and you've got to be able to sort of read around the subject as well. Hopefully these tips gave you enough ideas to create your study routine. Please comment down below if you're unsure of any tips and future video ideas. Also stay tuned for future videos where I'll be sharing my secret study hacks that no one will ever tell you. And if you made it this far into the video, also comment down below study routine, as you can see on screen right now. I'll make a completely free personalized study timetable for one lucky winner. So all you got to do is just comment down below and then give me some extra information about your subjects, and boom, I'll create it for you in the next week. Finally, just a reminder that these videos take absolutely ages to make, okay, and edit. And I'm talking about these long form videos, like the shorts, yeah, a little less time, but these videos take absolutely ages because I have to write a 1,000 word script on my own, and then I have to record it, then I have to edit it, and it takes many hours per video. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.